This evening, social media star freed of robbery charge. GPHC hosts World Glaucoma Week celebration. Linden businessman gunned down in suspected robbery. In the region, in Trinidad and Tobago, anti-gang legislation concerns lawyers. And internationally, President Donald Trump fires Secretary of State Rex Tillerson.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Bramwell Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Tuesday, March the 13th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Social media figure Teardrop is counting his blessings after he was freed of a robbery charge. Esther Sobers reports.
Popular social media star Leon Clark, also known as Teardrop, walked out of the magistrate courts today a free man. Clark, who maintained that he was targeted, was granted $75,000 bail when he made his first appearance in court last year. During his trial, the magistrate upheld a no-case submission that was put forward by his attorney, Keoma Griffith. However, at the trial, all of the witnesses provided by the prosecution were discredited. Several others never made their court appearance. In September of last year, it was alleged that a young singer broke into a house and carted off over $1 million in valuables. In a statement to the court during his first appearance, Teardrop made it clear that he was not part of any robbery and there was nothing connecting to him to the crime. For Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Today marks the 105th anniversary of the mass killing that took place at Rose Hall Estate in Kanji, Berbice. The 15 persons who lost their lives on that day are often referred to as the Rose Hall Martyrs. This morning, a wreath-laying ceremony was held to mark the anniversary at the Rose Hall Memorial Site. The memorial ceremony was attended by Minister of Social Cohesion George Norton, Regional Executive Officer of Region 6 Kim Williams-Steffen, Director of Culture Tamika Boatswain, and other officials. The 15 martyrs being honored were shot by colonial police on the high bridge leading to the estate after they protested and refused to work on days they were granted leave. The slain sugar workers were Badri, Gobinde, Lalji, Sadula, Bole, Hulas, Motikan, Sarju, Durga, Jugai, Nibur, Sohan, Gafur, Jugu, and Rupan. The Central Housing and Planning Authority within the Ministry of Communities is rolling out an extended residential housing construction program. Anyone can own their own home for as little as 7 million Guyana dollars. The Housing Department recently held an open house event on the matter. Wendell Jeffrey reports.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority, CH&PA, is acknowledging that they have had some problems regarding the construction of their housing facilities in the past. However, they are working at correcting that.
These units are of the highest quality. Right? I know we've had problems before, but you will not see any of those problems repeating itself. No.
Ivor Wharton, Public Relations Officer for the Housing Department, said that all Guyanese can qualify for any of the houses built by CH&PA. However, one must first make an application to the department.
Anyone can get one of these houses, but first you must have an application in the system.
The application costs 200 Guyana dollars. Wharton also said that the department is lowering the bar for home ownership as they are actually facilitating the acquisition of loans for home ownerships.
Now, what we have in the past is that persons were just coming and say, well, look, I want to go to Republic Bank, I want to go to Demerara Bank. And then they come back to us and they have been changing their mind. So we encourage persons to go first to the banks and then come and say definitely which lending institution they want us to write the letter to.
Rondell Font, a project engineer with the Housing Department, told the press corps that the houses were being redesigned to maximize the 1,200 square feet so as to make it more affordable and comfortable for the homeowners.
We would have modified the houses in order to put a cap in terms of the cost and yet make it relatively affordable for the beneficiaries.
The event was an open house activity, and the new housing rollout is under the theme Housing Solutions 2017 and beyond. For Channel 2 Headline News, I am Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. On Monday, Mayor Patricia Chase Green threw out the motion of no confidence against Town Clerk Royston King. In doing so, she cited having had legal advice that King can only be disciplined by the local government commission. AFC Councilor Sherrod Duncan raised the motion, which was seconded by Deputy Mayor Lionel Jaikaran. It described a number of shortcomings on King's part and also accused him of acting outside of the interests of the citizens of Georgetown. It also accused King of showing, quote, total disregard for the laws governing the municipality. However, several councilors have criticized the mayor's handling of the matter on the grounds that she ruled on the advice brought to the council by the very town clerk, Royston King. In fact, the same town clerk to whom the motion was brought against. After the break, Linden businessman allegedly murdered in a robbery.
The Billion Souls Guyana Incorporated presents its third conference for pastors and leaders at the Princess Ramada Hotel, East Bank, Demerara, on Tuesday, March 13th and Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, from 9 a.m. sharp to 4 p.m. at an unbeatable cost of $15,000 per person. With speakers Reverend Ijaz Nabi of the USA, Dr. David Sabrapina of the Philippines, Dr. John Smith of Guyana, Dr. Kirsch Darville, and Dr. Burton Lockhart of the Bahamas. Teaching in these exciting topics: unreached people groups, strategic church, becoming a kingdom-minded leader, how to plant a church in a global city, prayer and fasting, doing church in multiple locations, everyone in ministry, and synergizing apostolic movements. It's gonna be 2 days of synergizing, systematizing, and strategizing. So you got to be there. Registration are as follows.
Ride taxi service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. Back. World Glaucoma Week 2018 is from March 11th to the 18th. In honor of the week, the Georgetown Public Hospital has a week of activities planned for the public. In honor of World Glaucoma Week 2018, the hospital will host 2 activities: 1 week of free glaucoma screening sessions and a glaucoma CME session for health professionals. The hospital will offer daily glaucoma screenings from March 12th to Friday, March the 16th, from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Georgetown Public Hospital Eye Clinic. The staff ophthalmologists will be screening approximately 40 patients per day. Vision testing, eye pressure testing, and examination of the eye nerve will be done. Eligible individuals for screening include all individuals who are 40 years or older. Individuals below 40 years are invited only if you have the following risk factors: persons with blood relatives who are diagnosed with glaucoma, and persons of African descent. Among Guyanese patients, open-angle glaucoma is the most common form of glaucoma. Patients of Afro-Guyanese origin are more prone to develop open-angle glaucoma and are more likely to have family members suffering from glaucoma. It has also been found that glaucoma in Afro-Guyanese patients is usually very severe and more difficult to treat. Also, the hospital will be hosting a glaucoma continuing medical education session for healthcare professionals on Sunday, March the 18th, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the Herdmanson's Lodge in Queenstown. These sessions will concentrate on educating medical practitioners, ophthalmologists, nurses, and other eye care professionals on glaucoma diagnosis and management. This World Glaucoma Week campaign was chosen because of the fact that many people suffer with glaucoma and they still don't know that they have it. It's called invisible glaucoma because the disease acts silently by causing damage to the optic nerve, which is the eye nerve which allows us to see the world, without the patient having any noticeable symptoms. Once glaucoma is diagnosed early, treatment can be started early and hence prevent persons from becoming unnecessarily blind. Glaucoma can be controlled with treatment so that patients can enjoy comfortable vision throughout their life. President David Granger and Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, have pledged to strengthen ties between Guyana and India through increased cooperation. During a bilateral meeting held in New Delhi, India yesterday, Prime Minister Modi told President Granger that India will continue to support Guyana's development. He also pointed out that there are many areas for cooperation, particularly in the sugar and oil sectors. During the meeting, the two leaders reviewed the scale of Guyana-India relations and agreed to continue discussions when Prime Minister Modi visits Guyana later this year. President Granger also used the opportunity to update his Indian counterpart on the developments regarding the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy and expressed his appreciation for India's support for Guyana on this matter. A Linden businessman was killed following an alleged robbery. Esther Sobers has more in this report.
Romel Eddie Gomes, a Linden business owner, was murdered at around 5:30 p.m. on Monday. According to police, the victim was reportedly murdered by two males who were seen arguing with Gomes inside of the shop attached to his house. A short while later, an explosion was heard as soon after the suspects were seen fleeing the scene with the victim's motor car PVV 2057, which was parked in front of his shop. Gomes' bedroom was ransacked. His body was discovered in a pool of blood with his hand bound in front of a bandana tied around his mouth. Police also added that a suspected gunshot wound was seen to Gomes' right temple, a small laceration on top of the head, and another lacerated wound to his neck. He was taken to the Linden Hospital complex, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. No arrests has been made as police investigations are ongoing. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, I'm Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Join us after the break for your regional news, international news, and more. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook, Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
I know who I am. I know who I am.
For pastors and leaders at the Princess Ramada Hotel, East Bank, Demerara, on Tuesday, March 13th and Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, from 9 a.m. sharp to 4 p.m. at an unbeatable cost of $15,000 per person. With speakers Reverend Ejaz Nabi of the USA, Dr. David Sabrapina of the Philippines, Dr. John Smith of Guyana, Dr. Kirsch Darville, and Dr. Burton Lockhart of the Bahamas, teaching in these exciting topics: unreached people groups, strategic church, becoming a kingdom-minded leader, how to plant a church in a global city, prayer and fasting, doing church in multiple locations, everyone in ministry, and synergizing apostolic movements. It's gonna be 2 days of synergizing, systematizing, and strategizing. So you got to be there. Registration are as follows.
Welcome back. And we now take a look at the region. In Trinidad and Tobago, the new anti-gang legislation includes a section which holds parents responsible for the actions of their children if they are found to be involved in gang activity. This worries one well-known Trinidadian attorney. C News has more.
Emphasis in the particular section, which is section B of provision 12, speaks to parents who hold or harbor. So my question is this: if it is the legislation or the proposed legislation is dealing with parents who may be harboring an individual who is a gang member or a gang leader, one is holding accountable a parent for the actions of his child. I'm not too sure whether that is sound in law.
He says that the country wants to pass laws to stop the 100 gangs operating in the country, but he says there may be some over-enthusiasm in drafting these new rules.
One needs legal advice in order to provide a defense. You're asking a parent to provide a defense to something that they have no legal knowledge of, or they have no understanding of how the law works. So it is unfair to the public out there when you empower the police with so much institutional underpinning, so much legislation that is giving them the power now to enter one's house without a warrant.
Mr. Ali says instead of parents being viewed as innocent until proven guilty, they are now in a situation where the burden to prove their innocence lies squarely on their shoulders. Mr. Ali says the situation is unfair at present. Police possess many institutional tools versus the regular citizen, particularly parents. He suggests there may be an increase in individuals taking the state to court, as has been seen between 2011 to 2016, in order to sue for damages for wrongful arrest.
And internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump fires Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. MSNBC has more on the issue.
Major shakeup inside the Trump administration. NBC News has confirmed that the president has asked Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to step aside, and he will be replaced with the current CIA director, Mike Pompeo. And to replace Pompeo, the president has announced the first woman to lead the agency. NBC's Peter Alexander is at the White House this morning. Peter, this is one of those shocked, not shocked, that Tillerson departure has been rumored about for months, and yet this morning, I don't know if anyone saw it coming at this very moment.
Yes, Savannah, I think you're exactly right. This is certainly a stunning announcement, not so much for the fact that it's happening. There has been wide speculation that Tillerson was on the outs, would likely be leaving this administration over the course of perhaps the next several months. But the fact that it was announced this morning, in effect by Twitter, confirmed by the president just moments ago, is what's so stunning to so many. Take a look at what the president tweeted just a short time ago. He writes, Mike Pompeo, director of the CIA, will become our new Secretary of State. He will do a fantastic job. Thank you to Rex Tillerson for his service. Gina Haspel, as you noted, will become the new director of the CIA and the first woman so chosen. Congratulations to all. Just moments ago, a senior administration official emails NBC News and tells us that the president, in effect, wanted to have his new team in place ahead of what will certainly be sensitive negotiations, not just over those trade deals, new tariffs the president's trying to impose, but also perhaps most notably because of the likely negotiations the president's hoping to begin with North Korea, agreeing to a face-to-face, a sit-down meeting with the rogue dictator of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, expected to take place over the course of the next several months. So as Rex Tillerson, just returning home, Savannah, from Africa within the last several hours, is now out of a job, the man who is taking over that job is a person who's really had favored status by the president since the very beginning. He is Mike Pompeo. He was first in his class at West Point. He was a Harvard Law School graduate as well. He's a person who has briefed the president on intelligence from the beginning, and in all my conversations here within this administration and its officials, they have always said the president had a particular liking for Pompeo, that he really trusted the information he got from him, and that Pompeo, in their words, spoke his language. So again, the breaking news right now on this Tuesday morning is the president in the background. I could even hear Marine One. Marine One will be taking off just a short time from now to go to Joint Base Andrews. The president heading off to California today. We'll see if the president has any public comments about it as he prepares to board that helicopter.
Sure.
Savannah?
Reporters will be shouting questions first chance they get. The breaking news this morning, Rex Tillerson, after a rocky tenure as Secretary of State, is out. The former Exxon executive will be replaced by Mike Pompeo, formerly of the House Intelligence Committee, who is the current CIA director, and Gina Haspel becomes the first female to lead the CIA. We're going to have a lot more on NBCNews.com and MSNBC right now. Also tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Now for your 7-day weather forecast. Here's this week's bridge retraction schedule and today's foreign currency exchange rates. And that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook and YouTube. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and do have a blessed evening.